I teach Gateway to Technology, which is a STEM class. We introduce the students to engineering skills such as isometric drawings, multi-view drawings, and computer animated design.
I teach digital mapping or geographic information systems. Geographic information systems is essentially taking data and putting it, rendering it onto a map so you have a visual display of that data. You would take, say, a spreadsheet of information that has some type of location tag and you put it on a map so that the students can see it visually.
My name is Jess Stafford. I teach video media at WMMS Middle School. 6th and 7th grade we teach coding. So we use a program called Scratch to learn the basics of programming, and then we graduate to experimenting with something called Sphero, which is a robot that uses the same coding language that we use in Scratch. So they get to see the things that they learned how to do on a computer actually applied in the physical world. And then 8th graders, we put on a school news program. They go out, they do all the legwork for it. They film everything, they come back, they edit them on the computers, and then we put it all together and record a broadcast.
Students have created puzzles, they have created rockets, they have created name tags, they have created trains, all on the computer using 123D Design, which is a three-dimensional computer program. And we have built all this stuff and then printed it out using the 3D printers.
So students use it in my classroom in a couple of ways. We kind of explore what is digital mapping. We kind of get familiar with the mapping platform. So in doing that, they're kind of gaining an understanding of how maps work, what makes a good map, what makes a poor map. They get some of the kind of nomenclature of mapping, which is nice because they get a lot of that in 8th grade, so this acts as sort of a predecessor to that. So they kind of explore the map, they create their own maps, they learn how to put pictures at certain locations, they learn how to link it to web pages. So they're kind of learning basic computer skills in that regard. And then also they learn to analyze data. We look at patterns of, say, earthquakes or tornadoes, and they look and see why earthquakes occur, what do they do, or why are tornado sirens prevalent in this area as opposed to this area. So they give them a map of tornado sirens, and then they overlay that with a map of tornadoes of the last 50 years, and they'll see that the places that have tornadoes will naturally going to have the need for tornado sirens.
So the first thing we always do is a maze project, and what that is they'll get some tape. There's some typical tape that you find at Lowe's, and they put it on the ground and they create a maze. And then they take Sphero and program the robot to successfully complete the maze. Then we go on to Sphero Golf. So we create a huge golf course on the floor of my classroom, just with paper and cardboard and just some random things you find laying around. And the kids have to program their Sphero through the golf course. It's amazing to see the things that they create. One group actually even created a little windmill to go with their hole, so it was really cute. And then the most fun project that we have done is the Harry Potter Sphero Breakout Challenge, and it kind of is an immersive experience where they are just so sucked in because they're trying to use the breakout, they're trying to crack the codes, but they have to use the Sphero, which they also love to do as well, to program and find the clues. And then of course, who doesn't love Harry Potter? So those are like the three top projects that we do with coding. Breakout is amazing. Love it. The kids absolutely adore it.
All right, so as you can tell, today's gonna be a little bit different, all right? You're gonna do something a little bit more fun.
It's, once again, a fully immersive experience.
Okay, I pinky promise you that today will be the most fun you've had in class all year.
So the kids come in and they immediately are attracted to it. It's weird, you know, there's this box sitting there with a bunch of locks. What are we doing? So you automatically have your in there, you're catching their attention. I've used it in my class. I use it at the very beginning of my coding unit to kind of grab their attention. and at the very end of the coding unit is our Harry Potter Sphero Breakout Challenge that they really get into. It's almost like an assessment as well. But it's, you have a good teaching tool and you're doing a meaningful lesson when you have no kids wanting to go to the bathroom. You have no kids having any kind of discipline problem. And this is something they enjoy and it's fun. Normally they get so wild in something like that that you have discipline problems. But things like Breakout and Sphero, non-existent. It's because they are 100% actually engaged in what they're doing. They're curious. They want to figure out how to make it work. It's just exciting to be able to watch.
They're generating problem-solving skills. They are getting introduced to technology that will be used in the future, such as 3D printers, and they're getting introduced to engineering programs.
I mean, it certainly ties into mathematics in terms of calculus, in terms of measurements. I know Tim Hickey has done a lot with calculus and how to incorporate GIS and calculus. Simple calculations, the coordinate plane for math. Science, all of the data, the various data points that you have in science, they all have some type of location, be it epidemiology, mapping like the Zika virus, or mapping where, the loss of habitat, deforestation, those types of things, those are all mapped. And then obviously social studies, history classes, you look at civics, we just had an election, all those maps, from electoral college maps on the state level all the way down to the county voting maps, those are all using GIS, and you can see which particular candidate fared well in which particular district.
I think my class is pivotal to the future of their existence as well as their present. We edit video, we do news production. Those are things that you can do projects in other classes now. There are also professions built completely around those things. Coding is one of the hottest job openings on the market right now, and kids really know nothing about it. We're all using this technology, every single day, all day. However, instead of just being a consumer, we're teaching kids to be a creator. And then now they can go in and make apps and design websites and code whatever they need to based on the problems that they face later in life.